Hello there and welcome to my advanced coal generator setup tutorial for Satisfactory. In this video I'm going to explain a setup that is efficient, works ratio perfect, is very easy to set up, and I'm going to explain how it works and why it works. We're going to work here with 3 water pumps on 8 generators. 3 water pumps produce 360 cubical meters of water, which is exactly the consumption of these 8 here. We also will have 120 units of coal, which is exactly the carrying capacity of a Mark II build, or the output of 2 normal Mark 1 miners on a normal node of coal or a pure node of coal. As you see, there's a lot of common denominators in these numbers. So first up, I want to talk about the water part. The interesting point here is that this build tricks how pipelines work a little bit. Because as you see here, the capacity of a pipeline is only 300 cubical meters per minute, but we're transporting 360 through this network. This works because of the connection way here. As you see, all of the pipes are connected to one big grid, which, as you see, every one of these is interconnected with one another, which leads to the point that water always has lots of ways where it can flow through. We need, at the end of the day, only 2 connectors to the main power grid, to the main power plants, but it is really important that these 3 guys are connected like that, so they can exchange the pressure of delivery, so to speak. Going to go into that a little bit more detailed once we have built that whole thing. So let's get started with the belt part, which is by far the easiest. I use a manifold distribution method, which means we're going to work with splitters like this. Input goes there. You might be very familiar with this method already from other setups. Go for it like that. 1 for each of the nodes here, and then I'm going to roll a tier 2 build between these here, because that is the total capacity of material that we're going to pipe through this system here. And then we just connect it with our input, which is coming from here. And the last thing, we use now Mark 1 belts to connect the coal generators with the splitters here again, because this makes it so that more of the coal gets shoved through the middle lane and less of the coal gets distributed on the side lanes, which gives a better supply to the last ones. More about that at the end of the video, because that's there's a few words that I want to lose about that. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to connect this thing with water. So I will introduce first up now a tidy version of connecting it with water, and I will connect the rest of it untidy, so you can use for yourself which method you prefer. So first up here, we now take a pipeline support and build it pretty much in front of this bad boy, and elevate it as high as we want it to be elevated. Then we do this in front of the other here as well. So you see you get a nice alignment line. Then we draw a piece of pipe between these elevated dudes there. And now we place junctions wherever we want to connect them then with the actual grid. Make that as tidy or not tidy as you want to. I'll leave it up to you. It's all cosmetical things. The other method that I personally prefer to use when nobody's looking, I'm going to show to you in a second. So here you connect these, and as you see, there is no ugly clipping between the builds and nothing happening like this. You can't do this just as you want to, or you go the lazy way and you just place down a junction, just like that. Align it to the input there while holding down left control. And then we align them with one another, just like this. And then we just connect the junction. Or die trying. Yeah, okay, that guy wants to be weird. Let's let him be weird. And like this. Cosmetical things can take up the most time, and brute forcing it like this looks like ass, but well, it does the trick still, as you see. Okay, So now we have wired the generators all up to water and coal. Now we need to wire the water system up. So here it is really important that we take the first entry point here and connect it on this end of the system. And the second entry point should now be connected to a random other part here, back there probably. And yeah, that's pretty much that. You can now go and connect that bad boy back here to ensure that there's always a way for the water to pass through. And that's that. So the last thing that we need to do, obviously, is to connect these with power, and then we are good to go. So here a couple of closing thoughts about this. So fluids in this game behave like this. I think here we can show it quite decently. As you see there, fluids don't distribute like stuff on belts. Fluids try to equal out the amount of transport load, so to speak, and this leads to the interesting fact that if we provide enough roads for the water to pass by, so to speak, we can circumvent the workload limitation or the transport load limitations that you would normally have. Of course, you can spice up this build by running tier 2 or Mark 2 builds and pipes. This would make the entire build a little bit smaller. Your footprint would be smaller due to that. But yeah, it's pretty much up to you how you want to resolve it. This is a very attractive setup because it is providing steady power. It's absolutely mass buildable. Yeah, that's, I think, it's the best word that I'm trying to find here. And due to its ratio perfection, you can just slap up another one of these blocks every 120 pieces of coal you got. The wonderful thing here is that, well, it just works with the given numbers. The downside is that you need a certain amount of coal, but if you don't have 120 pieces of coal, if you only have 60, you can also cut the system in half, let only 4 of these dudes run, and get yourself a little bit less power out of all this. This system here is better in every aspect than the easy one that I set up here, but I personally didn't want to showcase it as an easy solution because, for one, to truly understand what's happening here is you need to be a little bit into the fluid and distribution mechanics, and I personally found it also a lot harder to set up in the pods itself. Let me know what you think, but I personally think this is among the best setups, with a big thanks to the comment section below, which is always helping and always adding in new ideas, and I hope these will help you as well. And yeah, feel free to let me know what you think. Leave a thumbs up. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. Check out the description box. Feel free to support the channel financially if you feel like my work is worth a dime to you. It would really mean a lot to me. So, many thanks for watching. Many thanks for supporting the channel if you do so. And I hope you have a great day. See you soon.